Today we have the last competitor of the gimbal madness that is happening right now on my YouTube channel. It's a direct competitor to the Crane 3, Ronin-S and Moza Air 2. It's called the FEIYUTECH AK4000. Welcome back, I am Mauro. As you know, lately I made a full in-depth comparison between the Crane 3, Moza Air 2 and Ronin-S, and the link should pop up right now, and you can find it also in the description. But I have somehow missed the AK4000 comparison between the three others. Well, we went out today and made the same test shots to match the other comparison. So we can now have a feel on how the FEIYUTECH AK4000 compares to the others. We are going first to test shots made in my city and then with the comparison of the test shots that we run with the other gimbals. Let's roll them. Well, I see a little problem here that could be really easy fixed with a firmware update. Even in the smoothness mode possible, the gimbal is too responsive. You can't adjust the parameters to filter out the start and end dead point between the shots, making it too responsive to every little movement. Even being a very well experienced 3-axis gimbal operator, I couldn't filter out the single little movements that I was doing with my hands, and they were visible in my footage. What do you think, guys? Comment section down below. We are continuing in a full in-depth review with all the functions, and we will conclude later what I think about this gimbal. Inside you will find the FEIYUTECH AK4000 gimbal, base plate Manfrotto capable plate, lens holder, extension hot show mount, USB to micro USB cable, Canon, Sony and Panasonic control cables, 4 18650 FEIYUTECH batteries, battery charger, extension holding rod and manuals. In the dual-handle accessory handle kit grip, you will get the kit to assemble the setup in a dual-handle carrying mode version. The follow focus package includes the follow focus motor, extension rods, control cables and the lens ring. The balancing is just like any other 3-axis gimbal. Roll, pan and tilt axis have to be in perfect balance. You have actually two ways to mount the follow focus. From the hot shot top mount on your camera, adjusting the motor to your lens. Or through the horizontal bottom plate with a dedicated rod mount. Once you are ready, you can power it on. This is actually the biggest OLED screen available when you compare it to the competition, and it's actually also touch sensitive. The main screen allows you to change the modes. HF stands for pan mode. TF is actually tilt follow mode. LK stands for all lock mode, and AF stands for all follow mode, where all the axes follow. The follow focus mode selector actually allows you to use the wheel in other modes when you don't need the functionality of the follow focus. You can roll it, tilt it, and pan it. When connected with the control camera cable, you are only able to focus and start recording. When connected via Wi-Fi on your camera, you can control the white balance, ISO, and exposure compensation. There is no shutter speed control. A little weird. Please FEIYUTECH include that in a new next firmware update. Swiping on the right, you can adjust your payload settings. Auto adapt, 5 levels of motor strength, and 3 custom modes adjustable via the app. You can select the capture mode, default, smooth, and action. The rotation time is actually to make a motion time-lapse. You can adjust the sensitivity of the gimbal, camera control, and autofocus. Actually, once you connected your FEIYUTECH app to the Sony camera and put the password to connect it to the Wi-Fi of the AK4000, you don't need the app, and when you power on the FEIYUTECH gimbal, it will always connect to your camera. Great move, FEIYUTECH. On the side there is a touch panel lock button and the micro USB port. Holding the trigger on the back, you enter sport mode, and pressing it 2 times, it resender to the starting position. Pressing the power button 3 times, you can enter selfie mode. In the FEIYUTECH app menu, there are some basic controllable options, and the option menu is distorted by a couple of degrees. There is no fine-tuning on the most important thing that every gimbal should have, the dead zone and filter compensation. There is just the scene mode and the custom settings that let you choose the strength. There should be a filter option to adjust every single motor to make it smoother. There is also another thing. No matter how deep I tried to dig in the settings, I couldn't find an option to have only a tilt movement. It will always follow. This should be improved and lock all the motors and leave the tilt movement so I can make wide, great, straight panorama openings. When comparing the AK4000 to the other flagship gimbals like the Ronin-S, Crane 3 and Moza Air 2, this gimbal is the lightest. And it's coming really close to the WeBe Lab in size of the weight and portability options. A great feature is that you can disassemble it just like the Ronin-S, but the actual footprint is smaller, making it almost as packable as the WeBe Lab with a great payload. A great option is the dual handlebar that makes all your shots more stable, and you can make some really great move like this to interest the public. You will have to make a compromise here. It's a great 4 kg load capacity option, but you don't have the option to fine-tune the motors. This could be a really great travel gimbal option for heavier cameras that don't need the fine-tuning of the motors. And we are going straight to my favorite one, comments time. We have Ramon, damn you with the face, JK, I like it. Told you, you can't stop me. We have Yohar Production, can I use it for the Blackmagic Ursa Mini? I asked him for the weight for the Crane 3, it was 2.5 kg without battery and 1.5 kg for the battery and a total weight of 4.5 kg. Well, it would be a little too heavy for the Crane 3, I would never mount the total weight limit on the actual gimbal. It would be a motor stress. I would rather go for the Ronin 2. We have Handmade Wedding Productions. In your opinion, is the real-time tracking enough to swag someone from the A7 III? So, if you had to buy it again, would you give up the A3 for the A6400? No, I would still buy my Sony A7 III for my A-cam, and I would buy the Sony A6400 for my B-cam. This one feature Mike Mirabal. Thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe with the bell ring icon to get notified every time I make a new video, and see you on my next one.